Good morning, guys. Welcome to our Ruby programming language lessons. This lesson will be the second of the last one. By saying with array indexing, the minus 2 will be as an index our course. As you know, use IDE environment by describing all this course to you. I prefer to this time ECLIPSE IDE, Integrated Development Environment. With ECLIPSE IDE, before I shoot this video, prepared lessons one by one. We are going and today this is gonna be 14.1, the 14th, and next our next lesson will be the last one with index -1 as we can consider as array. And this series of Ruby programming language lessons will come to an end. If we talk about what the contents will be for last two courses, we go on with object-oriented programming, and for the last one I'm going to describe some file manipulating examples such as file creation, file read, and file inquiry. Such kind of examples will be included within this lesson. So let's start with our lesson 14 with this small snippet. Okay, here I'd like to describe your modules. Yes. Within the framework of object-oriented programming, we talk about modules. Within these modules, we describe how to do or what to do by calling our class instances. Class objects. I here define a module here. It's called flyable. So within this module structure, I define one method is such as called fly, and in this method I would like to print out I'm flying string. I'd like to print out, I'd like to be displayed this string, and this is just includes this command, and I here create my main class such as called vehicle, and nothing is done within this class, and I create another class which is named car, which is a subclass of vehicle superclass, and another class I create here which is called jet, and then within the jet class I include flyable module. Okay, just look here at the very beginning. I created here flyable module, so it's gonna print out this string. So here within a subclass I include flyable module. This is the module name, and I here create another subclass of vehicle main class, superclass. I here recall our module once again, flyable module, and it ends. After that, let me show you like this. Okay, after that I create an object of jet subclass. This is the keyword for creation, and here I use fly method by this notation. Actually, I use a vehicle module, and it's a fly method. So let's run it and see what it's gonna be look like. Okay, just as we expect, I'm flying string is displayed on the screen. Just as you can see, I can I can create more than once these objects, and it's up to us which module, in case if there are more than one, which module to recall for different purposes, different procedures. Let's go with another example with this one. I here create a cat class. Our attribute accessor include two parameters, two arguments. Here include a comparable. So after that I add another method here, initialize method with arguments n, a. So self name and self age is described here, defined here, and I define another equality method. This is the format, a standard format. Okay, here I compare age with the other age, and after the end of this class structure, I create a C1 object, or C1 instance, other saying. So our cat class is recalled or created with these parameters: Bob and 3 years age, and another instance C2 cat.new Lucy this time, and it's 7 years old. So I here make a comparison, logical comparison here, and I'd like to find out if C1 less than C2. Okay, actually we are comparing age, as you guessed, and just when we run this snippet, true, because 3 is less than 7, so Bob is younger than Lucy, just we can say by another saying. Okay, namespacing. I'd like to give a namespacing example here. My module mammal, and I here create a dog class, and this is a method, speak method, and this is the command which is to be performed within the frame of this method. And I here create another class, cat class, and this is method. This method this time describes the sound of a cat, meow, and at the end I create an instance of mammal module with this dog class, and another one here, and our objects are ready. So I separately select speak method for object A, and the same speak method for object B. Just I'd like to say that. Okay, and once again, I'd like okay. As a result of performing the first one, we got wolf, okay, for dog, and as a result of the second one, we got meow. Okay, it sounds funnier, right? Okay, I here define a module here, my math, and my math module will include one constant declaration, and here define another method self square, and it's gonna multiply by itself, and here I define another method so as to take the negation of the variable x, negate, and simply with minus x. So I here define another method, a factorial method here, so as to accept one argument, and one dot x dot inject semicolon asterisk or 1. This is important because we would like to filter the ones greater than 1, in fact. I will describe later. And I here would like to print out my math module by calling my math module by calling factorial method. Okay, so factorial method will accept one argument, so I prefer argument 8, number 8. And let's go one by one. I'd like to show you the effect of the other examples, the other data, with the other data. Okay, when I run this one, okay, factorial 8 equals to this one. Actually, we are not familiar with these bigger numbers, so I prefer to calculate once again by accepting factorial 5. We know the result of this factorial calculation. In fact, it equals to 120, and I here would like to show you the effect of 1. In fact, the value of factorial 1 equals to 1 because 1 is multiplied by itself, and as a definition, factorial 0 equals to 1. I'd like to show you why it is used like this. If it's not used this 1, it would this is always gives more than one result, even if it is 0, because this way or that way factorial 1 must equal to 1, right? This is ensured by using such notation. Okay, so just I would like to show you the result of this one also. It calculates and finds 1 because 1 is ensured by this one, even if it is 0. Okay. Yes, what about the next one? I here wanted to show you in the simplest manner the module and its method recalling. Actually, the structure is very easy, very simple, very clear. Our module stuff, and this is the shuffle method, which is defined within the frame of this module, and this and is for this method, and this and is for modules itself, and simply I write stuff dot shuffle, and it is performed what it is to be done, or how it is expected to be calculated within the frame of stuff by such and such method, right? I go with another one. I would like to show you structs here, structs specification feature. I here assign structs.new by accepting x and y arguments to our variable point. So as the origin, as a beginning, I assign this point.new with arguments 0, 0. That this stands for x, this stands for y, and I here assign another struct with arguments here with these parameters. So just I'd like to print out this structure with by y parameter, and sorry, just to make it easy to see. Yes, when we run this, 42, as it is expected, is printed out, displayed on the screen. 42, this one. I here go with another one. I here would like to show you open struct, O struct here. The method to call it or to be able to use it properly, we use require keyword, and O struct is a ready-made method for this one, and I assign this struct, open struct, to our person instance, and person.name will be assigned as John, and the person.age, this is another variable, variable of structure, equals to, will be assigned to 42, and I append one more variable here as salary, so it's 250. I would like to print out person.name, just I prefer this one. So let's see what's going to be printed out on the screen. So John, just as a quick repetition, okay, all struct, here we recall, we create an instance, and with age and with name, and it's called by saying its name, by mentioning the name of this one. Okay, another example with O structure. Instead of defining one by one, I prefer to define variables with data by using this structure. As you can see, there are 3 keys, 1, 2, 3, and there are related data specific to those keys. And I here recall person, and with key name, so it's gonna print out John once again. Okay, what's wrong with this? Input. Okay, something went wrong with this. Okay, just I will reconsider this example once again. Okay, I'd like to give examples about standard classes which are used in math frequently. Some of them are math and a specific method. In math class, there are many useful methods which can be used by calling with parameter or without parameter, but most of the time it is called by parameters. I here recall math class with a square root method, and by using an argument 9. So this is square root, it's gonna give 3. And this is another example for pi. I recall math with this pi constant. This notation is required. You must care about that. And it accepts no parameters, without parameters. And for in trigonometry, such as sine of an angle or cosine or tangent, I recall class once again with this notation. This is in radian unit. I think it's gonna give 1 because cosine of 0 will give 1, and this time I use time class with now method. It's gonna give the current time, that means the data about now, and by using this t instance, t object, we can make it reach by calling year, month and day for specific methods, and custom day, that means specialized day format. We would like to display it, and the day of week, day of year, and such and such and such can be displayed whichever is required. Just as a quick look, these are standard classes, and they all have available methods so as to be used just by recalling its name with arguments or without arguments, and just it's up to us to, after creating it, to use which method. Okay, let's make it run and see. Okay, there are more than one result, so of course just going by one. Okay, the result for this one, the square root of 9 will give 3. Okay, this is gonna give pi in long format, and for trigonometry methods, cosine of 0 will give 1. This is a float format, as you see, and by using time class, time now, so this is the first day of October, in fact, and this is the local time, and it's printed by means of this command. Here I would like to print it the year. Okay, 2019, and how about this, the 10th month, that stands for October, and the first day, October the 1st. Okay, I'd like to show you custom date, in other saying, in customized format. Here, year, day and month. This is like this, day and month. Okay, and day of year will be shown here, and week of the day, and this will be shown here, starting on Sunday as the first day. Okay, shortly in the summary, we can use standard classes with specific methods by specific arguments or data. Okay, here, there we go. Procs. I here wanted to give some examples about procs, in short form procs, of course. Procedures. I here create recall a proc with this keyword, and I use X variable to do something here. Just I would like to show here, and within this proc we do and loop. I just would like to print out this string on this display, and simply by recalling greet proc with by calling this is the keyword required by parameter Hasan, and I recall it once again with parameter Zeki. Actually, what I am saying here, we run the code in the proc using the call method. Actually, this is the method to call it. It's a keyword, as I said, and let's see the result once again, step by step. Okay, our proc will be recalled. Okay, and when we recall this, it's gonna accept one argument, so as to insert here welcome blah 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 blah. Okay, this is the parameter welcome Hasan, and I recall it, or I use once again this proc with this parameter welcome Zeki. Okay, just I didn't repeat this structure, just I use this and this parameter so as to do the same thing. Okay, my new proc sum here would like to add x to y, and this is a simple proc. In fact, I call this sum proc by with these parameters, and just as you can see, it calculates it. Just I'd like to mention here that here you can define a polynomial equation, for example, and you would like to get the result of that polynomial with the values of with the known values, or with the initial values, how it comes. So it's gonna calculate by giving the values for x and y variables. It's a simple example. Just you can enrich this application. So this is gonna be the next lesson for now, and I here define a proc here which is named greet. So it's gonna say welcome by accepting this variable, and this is another proc here, goodbye proc. So it's gonna print out or display it on the screen, such as goodbye blah 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 blah, and this time I define a method here by accepting r and proc, and our r method is described here by using this structure. It's gonna be repeated for each x by recalling call over call with variable x. Just we can say that. Okay, and after this definition, I create I assign people object with these parameters David, Amy, John, and I recall our say method once again with people and greet procs. Okay, this is object, this is proc. In fact, this time I call say method with people of this object, and once again this time I use this method goodbye proc with parameter x, and when I run this one, okay, okay, for greeting, which is okay, just I forgot the previous. Okay, for greeting, it's repeated for these three persons. Okay, for David, Amy, and John, and for goodbye proc is repeated once again for 3 times, and just as you can see, with only 2 proc method recalling, we can do much more things. Okay, you guys, this is the end of this course for the time being. Our next course will be the last one, and it's gonna include file manipulation implementations. I hope you enjoyed this course. Thank you for your watching. Please do not forget to subscribe my channel on YouTube at YouTube, user/Hasan Zeki Alp. Thanks for your time. Thanks for your watching. Bye.